Diogo Teles is the product lead of Faber Ventures and is going to tell us about the way they do business there, or at least products. Good products.
Is the microphone working? Hey, nice to meet you, and thank you for having me and having Faber Ventures around. So, my name is Diogo Teles, that's my Twitter handle, and I'm here to tell you a story of how we built a product in 180 days with great founders and with a great story. So, let me tell you what Faber Ventures is. Who knows Faber Ventures around here? Yes! So, no, wait. More people use Scrum than know Faber Ventures. That's not good. So, from concept to market to scale. So, from what we do is we take ideas and we take stories and we bring it to the market and then to scale. Either we work in pre-seed models, so when the company is starting, when we help the founders, or we go as seed investors, as the case of Seeders, All19, and Codaseed. So let me tell you, we are not into ideas, we are into stories. So if you want to present us something, please bring your story. There's a great friend of mine called João Vengrovius. He worked at BBDO, and he tells the story of a French chef who had a lot of sous chefs, and one of the sous chefs opened a restaurant. So he asked, "So chef, can you please come to my restaurant?" And he went there, and after the meal, the guy asked, "So chef, what do you think about my food?" "Yeah man, I really like your food, but in Paris there are 100 restaurants that can make the same food as you. So what's your story?" And that's the most important part for us. So let me tell you a story. This is Sofia Quintero. She worked at Geckoboard. Geckoboard, who knows Geckoboard? Just really quick. No one, so it's quick. So Geckoboard is a dashboard company, really well known in England, so you can track your KPIs. She was working there as sales, so she was the VP of sales, and she calls herself the Badger because she's a force of nature. So she had to work a lot with product developers and product owners in collecting feedback. What happens is she found a really interesting problem, that is, nowadays there's a lot of sources of feedback. You have your CRM tools, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have emails, you have sales calls. And she found out that there was a big problem, that is, I cannot analyze all of this because it's not organized anywhere. So she started an idea and she sent me this slide. Actually, the logo is from a company of a friend of mine called Artify. So it was really rough. And she said, I want to store, search, and share customer stories in one place, easily. And bam, that's the story. That's the idea, and you raise your hands because it's this kind of slide that we want. Most of all, she had company. She had Lucas. Lucas is a CTO. He's a guy that knows technology. He knows his way around DevOps. He knows his way around Ruby on Rails. So he's a great guy, and he suffered from the same problem. So how did we help them? We create a product starting by focusing on the main problems and the right personas. Let me tell you this. She had this simple idea, so we focus on these two things. Value, customer feedback is locked and fragmented in different systems and in different teams. That happens, who feels this? Who feels this around here? So yeah, and it's something that I related with as well. The next thing is, sharing customer feedback with multiple teams is a manual and inefficient process. So as a CEO, as a CTO, if I want to get the feedback from my team and product development team or for my customer support team, it's really, really hard. So we started to work on that. Let me tell you, this is a famous thing by Death Trainer. He said something really, really cool, that is, you should focus on doing a thing really, really well. And he gave the example of a Swiss Army knife against a scalpel. So a Swiss Army knife, if you have a bottle to open, actually, you don't use a Swiss Army knife if you have a bottle opener. If you have something to cut, you don't use the Swiss Army knife if you have a knife. But instead of that, the scalpel is something really simple. It cuts well, it's still easy to use, it's easy to test, and it does its job. And that's, with this in our mind, we started to build a product. The first thing we do is we start to iterate really, really quick. We think, we draw, we iterate, and this is actually it was really good with NumNum, because what happened was Sophie had a lot of contacts and a lot of companies, so we started to draw a little something and we started to talk with them since day one. So this is a couple of cool mockups. That's the first one, the first piece of feedback. How can we organize? What are the main components of a piece of feedback? So we have that sentiment, we have the source, and etc. And then on the other side, it's the first draw for that piece of sentiment. It's actually funny, we use a reference there that I really like from Monkey Island. I don't know if you know the game. But, and this started to evolve. The next thing, we started to see how can we organize this feedback, how can we make it searchable, and then how can you show it to the user, etc., etc., etc. With a lot of talks, with a lot of help, we created the first version. What we actually did was we didn't want to create a software that we open to the world. We want to create a software that we, in a close group of friends, could work and could iterate and could get the product even better for a couple of months. So what we did was we get by with a little help from our friends. It's exactly how it works. So if you want to test it, actually you can talk with me after. But after some time, we did realize and we correct a lot of stuff and we ended up with this. And this is the first version of the product. That's our designer by the time, David. And I love the first name. My name is Luca. And this is the first. I'm living on the second floor actually. And this is the first version of the product. As you can see, it was a small product that actually fulfilled his destiny. You can search, you can archive, and you can analyze your feedback. It was just this. And we focused on this for a while, and then we launched the closed beta, and we started to have a lot of features. People started to ask for a lot of stuff. And then it comes, for me, the worst problem in the world, the product creep. And they have this thing, it's actually quite funny. I hired a creep to help determine the product features. You need more features, good work. Yeah, the rest is there. So it's actually quite funny, but we had this problem as well. That is, we had a lot of people that needed a lot of features, and we kind of understand that we needed to change the way we were building the product. We cannot do our roadmap based on features, because down the line we will get a lot of features for a small time. So we started to do something Jared Spool said, forget about features, think about problems. And that's where we started to work and change our way of doing things. We changed the way we build the roadmap from features to problems. And we started to understand that the problems that we solved were right, but then we need to choose carefully what are the problems that we are solving after. So after some time and after long conversations with our users, we decided to implement a little thing that is actually the best feature we have right now. That is, people don't want just to analyze feedback because they don't know how to analyze feedback. What they actually want is the product to tell us what users are saying so they can actually act on it. So can you do a dashboard that actually resumes all my feedback and gives me the answer in 1 minute? Yes, we can. So that's exactly that. As you can see, nowadays, you can see what are the problems that I have in my product. What are the best things I have in my product? What are the users saying in this country? And most of all, the product is going to a path of natural language processing, so we can start taking conclusions and give it to the product owners, the product developers. That is, you need to change this. But before we do that, we need to solve a lot of other problems. So what happened was, we developed this, we developed the integration with Intercom, with Zendesk, with a lot of services that can actually feed our system. It's really, really easy to integrate, so that's another thing. We made sure that the onboarding as a software as a service product was neat, so we needed the user to just enter the platform and really easily integrate with the services. So if you want to test it, please talk with me. It's in closed beta. So what are the results of this? The first one, NumNum has great beta users. I'm not giving names, but some of them are sitting on this audience. The application is continuously evolving through feedback, not good or bad feedback, pages and pages of feedback. And you know what's actually cool? We use our product to see our feedback. So we have the feedback organized. The third thing, the team is now graduating from Techstars London, so they are coming out of Techstars London, and the product will be ready to ship. So I want to thank you, Nam, because we are in Portugal, and what actually is funny is we built this from Lisbon with a team from London to the world, and we have a great team. Some of them are sitting here, some of the people from our companies are sitting here. I really love you, I really love to work with you. So thank you guys, see you next time.